Oh, it's shaking a little bit. Good morning, everyone. This is Man Plastic here, finally back with another video. And today, oh, where'd the box go? Oh, here it is. Today, we'll be taking a look at this guy. So, a couple things I wanted to kind of explain. So, I've been in the process of trying to change this whole setup, but it has not been going right. It really has not been going right. My plan was to get the same type of material. It's like foam core, for those of you that know what it is. It's essentially like foam compressed in between two pieces of paper. And I was going to use that for the background. I was going to paint different sceneries depending on which figure like I would be reviewing. But it has not worked. Like the foam core is not taking, like, it's complicated. I tried using polyurethane, which is like the same type of stuff you use to like, to tighten up figure joints. That really wasn't working. I tried the resin, but I think if anything, the solution is I would have to brush on the resin, and that would take so long. So I think regardless, I'm going to keep this setup for a while. Or not for a while, but until I can figure out exactly what to do. But that's what I've been doing this entire time. But also, for budgetary reasons, I can't really be constantly getting new figures that are coming out. So, you know, the Kami one, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, which I do wish I could review, but sadly, I don't think I'll be able to. There's like a couple figures that I have to be very selective with what I want to get. Because I don't do it just for the sake of reviewing figures. I also do it because I have my own collection, of course. So, you know, I kind of have to be stingy a little bit with what I pick. But regardless, I'm back. Thank you guys for... We finally hit more than 1,000 views in one video, and I really appreciate it, you guys. Sincerely. That is awesome. Keep it coming, por favor, please. But that doesn't mean a lot to me. That is actually a very huge milestone, in my opinion, for this channel. So thank you. But, okay, let's continue on with this guy. We are taking a look at Super Saiyan Vegeta Dangerous Pride. I have heard a lot of things from this figure, and I myself... Sadly, I already have a big issue with this figure, but we will get into it. This is brand new 3.0 Vegeta with a ever so slightly bulkier Daima body. If I can find a picture, I'll put it up. But honestly, I think without the Daima, I don't have the Daima body. I don't think I'll really be able to show how different it is unless I find a comparison picture, which if I find one, I'll put it up somewhere here. So... Brand new 3.0 Vegeta, it comes with 3 faces, 2 different hair sculpts, but something I actually do like, they added different shoes, which is pretty cool. But again, I've heard a lot of things about this guy, so... Actually, before I continue, guys, again, thank you all for the support. Please like, subscribe, watch the full video if you like. Yeah, I just really appreciate you guys, but now, let's go ahead and open the box. Okay, and here he is out of the box. In terms of accessories, actually, it's actually pretty decent. I don't think they've ever added an arms crossed part for a Goku. Or separate shoes. I mean, Goku pretty much wears the same shoes mostly all the time, so it'd be kind of almost unnecessary to do so. But, regardless, comes with 4 faces, including the one that he's wearing. Crossed arms. He has 4 different pairs of hands. I think I was counting the hands. And 2 different pairs of shoes, along with 2 different hair sculpts. This is the windswept, of course, and it has the hair. And what is this? I don't know what this is. This is kind of gross. What was that? Hopefully that was something that is not supposed to be there. Anyways, but here's what it comes with. Honestly, in terms of accessories, it's not bad, and the faces are pretty good. The only one I'd say is kind of a miss is the one he's currently wearing, which is, oh, let me turn the light a little more this way. There you go. The only real miss, I think, is kind of like the cocky grin face. To be fair, this one, for some reason, I noticed it right away. The mouth is kind of misaligned. Like, the paint isn't actually in the mouth. It's, like, right on top of the lip. So sometimes it kind of looks like a mustache. And it's a little funny. This is not the worst like QC ever for faces, but like some of the details I noticed, they're just kind of funny, you know. Here is the, if it focus, there we go, the teeth grinning face, which is pretty good. For heads, for a head sculpt, for the faces for Vegeta, they're pretty good. I like how expressive they are. Here's the yelling face looking forward. It goes back in the package, there we go. And of course, here is the cocky grin face, which in my opinion kind of has a beaver, a beaver-like look to it, which is a little funny. Okay, but in terms of accessories, it is pretty good actually, especially for like the general release $35 type of figure. I will say though, again, not to spoil anything, but I already have big issues with this figure. But in order to get to those, we have to go to the posing. The posing first. The articulation first. Sorry. It is still morning here, but I think I'm getting the hang of things a little better. So without further ado, let's go ahead, take them out of the box or the clamshell, and let's go to the articulation segment. And here he is. Wow, he is. Whoa, he looks tiny. Holy crap! Like, it looks really tiny. I'm gonna put him up to like as close to the camera as I can. And he fell. Okay, I finally got him to stand, which only took like 5 minutes. And it fixed the lighting, so here we go, finally. So, on the topic of how this Vegeta looks, he looks pretty good. On the body itself, we'll bring up the actual painting issues a little later. On the body itself, the faces, the hair, it's pretty good. I do wish the finish was a little more even. It doesn't bother me so much that, like, if it was a, like, kind of, like, varnishy, like a, what's it called, like a semi-gloss, I'm still not, like, a huge stickler for that stuff. I would like it to be even, though, because if you can notice, the legs are matte, but, like, the top body is still very shiny. So I'm gonna have to fix that. Which reminds me, a tutorial on how to matte coat your figures will probably come out soon, because I also want to try doing that. The only the only concern I have with that is if the varnish will come off eventually, like, you know, because it's spray on, and I'm sure they probably still use spray on in the production of these figures, most likely, but we'll see. Hopefully that comes out soon, because I want to try doing that. But anyways, so, but on the topic of how it looks pretty good. Very short in comparison to Goku. Stop, don't. Stop. He's leaning forward now. He's not. Okay. Okay. Let me face it a little down. Or I can zoom in a little bit. Yeah, that works, actually. That works a little better. There. Actually, zoom in works better. Put them right there. Okay. So, the Vegeta looks good, but now let's test the articulation. So, I'm bring him here. I have to kind of like squat down a little bit almost. Oh, funny enough, in this angle, he actually looks much more to size. To be fair though, this is a more accurate height comparison to Goku with this Vegeta rather than like the other 2.0 ones. This is an accurate height. So, you know, can't really complain because it is accurate. Now, go ahead and get on with the articulation. So, neck, back, not really that much. Yeah, it's not really that much. Looking down, though, it's also not that much. And the neck, ooh, yikes. Wow, okay. That's very loose. I don't think that's an issue with the head. I think it's more so an issue with the neck. I think the neck joint is loose. Well, that's a little annoying, because now I'm getting like resistance. Like it doesn't want to go down all the way. It doesn't want to like stay back. It's a little annoying, but I guess not the worst thing ever side to side. We have biceps, or sorry, shoulders, which is, wow, very good. Very good. Wow, that is actually really good articulation for shoulders. I do like the way they made the butterflies on this Vegeta figure. It feels natural and it doesn't look all weird. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Then of course bicep swivel 360, elbow joint, bicep swivel 360, elbow joint. And I'm already starting to feel kind of the issue. Okay, let's go down to the torso. Sorry, I have to sneeze. No, okay. It's gone. Okay. Torso, ab crunch is... Oh god. Excuse me, everyone. It actually turned out it was a real sneeze. Sorry, let's continue. Okay. Ab crunch, it's not the greatest, but I did find that if you push this back, you can get a little more. So I think it's just a usage thing. Some people were like, oh, you know, the ab crunch is not as good as the Daima one. I'm pretty sure it's still not as good, but it's a little better, I think, than people think. You just have to push down, because this armor piece is soft. Or it's supposed to be anyway. So if you push, again, if you push this back, you will see you can crunch it way more than if you just do this. So back, crunch it way more. Or not way more, but you still get a little more out of it than just doing like this. So there's a secret to that. And then back, it's not the greatest. Yeah, there's not really a whole lot of back arching there, which is a bit of a bummer because Vegeta is very agile. Okay, now the legs, standard 3.0 legs with brand new cuts here. Let's see, do the splits. Close enough. It's just missing a little more range for him to do them like perfectly. No, thigh swivel. Oh yikes! I don't like the way that feels. Oh, okay. Try not to swivel the thighs 360 degrees. Yes. Okay. Okay. This one feels a little weirder than this one on the. Yeah, this one doesn't feel as weird. Okay, it's a little concerning. Okay, where do these nipples come from? This is very annoying. Okay, then knee bend on the right leg. Knee bend on the left. What was that? Okay, knee bend on the left leg. And the ankles, let's see the ankle mobility. It's not bad, honestly. Yeah, it's not bad. I can say it's pretty decent. It's pretty decent for what it is. You can, of course, kind of like the legendary Super Saiyan ones. You kind of move them around, which is not bad. You can tell though the ankles for mine are like kind of flimsy. They're not. The problem is that they're not loose. Okay, let's get into the problems with this guy already, because I will say this right now. Sadly, I really don't think I'm gonna be posing him in this video, which is unfortunate because I have that first form cell and I could do something pretty cool with it, I think. But there's a huge concern that I have with this figure already, and I do not want to mess with him more than I have to for this review. Let's get on to the issues. The biggest issue I'll talk about is it'll be the last one, so stick around. So, issue number 1, this head is very, very, very flimsy. Like, again, I'm pretty sure it's the neck, so I guess I should say the neck is very flimsy, but it just doesn't want to, like, because of that, it doesn't feel like it can get the full range it's supposed to. Like, I feel like it can have a little more range, but it's just not, it's not working. It's so flimsy. Like, if you guys can hear that, I don't know if you hold it up to the mic. Like, it's just shifting all over the place. I'm not even shaking it super hard, but it's still shifting. And then he does feel very loose. Don't get me wrong, some of the joints feel really good, but he feels kind of loose at times. I don't know if it's because technically the joints are slimmer. Like, if you could notice, like, there's almost no space between, like, each side. That's maybe why he just feels flimsy. Like, not loose, but he feels flimsy. And I think that's also kind of like a product of, you know, using the Daima body, but kind of altering it a bit. I think they should have made him a little more muscular. Just like by a bit. because he feels too flimsy. It almost feels loose, you know? So it's kind of an issue. Oh, which reminds me, I didn't even throw the, of course, rotation of the, of the hips. Now, let's talk about all the other issues. I think the torso range could be a little better. Like, you don't really, like, you shouldn't have to like push this all the way in and just like, you don't have to crunch it that much. This, like, you know, this diaper is soft, is really soft. So you can get really good range out of this, you know. So the articulation that much really isn't the problem. It's just more so that it feels really flimsy, almost weak. It feels like it's gonna break on me at any point. The swapping out the boots was a little scary because they're, of course, like, they're angled. The joint goes in that way. So just be careful with doing that because you might break that if you're not careful. The glossy finish, it bothers me a bit because, you know, because you can notice the difference on the legs versus the rest of the body. It's annoying, but it's not the worst thing ever. It's not inherently an issue because, although you shouldn't have to, of course, with any figure, you know, you could fix it. Now, sadly, the biggest issue with this thing I have is the plastic. It is quite literally rubbing off plastic. I don't know if anyone else has had this issue. I genuinely do not know because I've kept like I'm a very like I'm a very avid like news oriented person when it comes to figures. So I haven't heard of anyone else having this issue, but move the light. If you take a look here, he's just straight up rubbing off the plastic of the bottom piece of the armor. I don't know why. I keep trying to like pry it a little bit to see if there's a problem. And I don't know what it is. I just don't know if the way they designed it isn't good. Because if I keep doing this, the plastic just keeps rubbing. And even more so, right here, you can notice it even more at the armor. And that is something that definitely should not be happening. I know a lot of people have said that the QC on this guy is better than the Games Begin Goku. Unpopular opinion, I actually kind of disagree. I think this guy might be worse. Especially because it's more of a gamble if you get this guy. Oh, a little more to this. There we go. I think it's a little bit more of a gamble if you get this guy. Move the light. There we go. He can be loose. I know that's one of the biggest issues. He can be really loose. Then, you know, the neck, for me, was the neck is the biggest issue with looseness. He does feel flimsy, so it feels like if you handle him with too much force, he will break. It feels that way. Swapping out the boots can be scary because the joint is, it's angled. Oh God, it's angled. What am I meant to say? So it feels like you can break the joint. Of course, just be careful with that. But again, I think the plastic rub, the scraping of the plastic is the worst thing here. It is pretty disappointing because, well, to be fair, both were made in Vietnam, but I think this guy got the slightly shorter end of the stick. The problem I had with the Games Begin Goku truly is really the fact that it was just kind of loose. I think the ankles on this one are more flimsy than the Games Begin Goku, in my opinion. It was just loose. That's like the biggest issue. Like the paint on the Games Begin Goku was pretty good. There wasn't really any mistakes that you had to correct. There wasn't any sort of like it didn't feel weak. Like it didn't feel like it was gonna break. The finish on the Games Begin Goku was actually pretty much the same. Like it was much the same. But another thing I will say is that for some reason, like, he comes all dirty, and I think someone by the name of Supersonic Racer, yes, on Instagram and YouTube, has experienced this too. Mine had a hair, like, where did I cut it? Because I remember I cut it out. I was trying to get it out, but I couldn't fully. There should be a piece. Oh, and the face kind of slipped. This face is kind of slip out a bit. Where'd it go? I don't know, but like, but he comes very dirty, surprisingly. Don't know if it's showing up on camera, but like, there's a ton of debris on here. Yeah, it's a little gross because I don't know. I don't know how widespread that problem was, but I like Supersonic Racer. I also found a hair in his hair. It was kind of gross. So I had to cut it out. I think there was like a little bit left somewhere in the hair. I mean, in the head sculpt. Okay, great. Okay. So, would I recommend this guy? I think, honestly, you would be more than fine if you passed on this version. Oh, I actually completely forgot to mention, the straps here are movable. Yeah, the straps here have a little bit of articulation, so you can move them around in case they get in the way of the shoulders or something. But which is pretty cool. I think it's pretty good that they did that, because it can be kind of cumbersome on like older Vegetas whenever the straps would get in the way. But it was only some of them, really. But anyways, back to what I was saying. Do I recommend getting this guy? I honestly think you can pass on this first one. I really don't think it's like a must-have. The QC is a bit of a gamble. Like, of course, it's not the worst thing ever. It's not like Vita 4 Joku Black, for example. It's not like that. But it's still kind of a gamble, to be honest. He's loose, feels very flimsy. I do think some of the faces, like the paint, this one is kind of focus. It's like a little odd. It doesn't look that bad on camera, actually. But like, it's the paint. Like, they kind of messed up. Like, they forgot to add the line on the bottom or something. It looks like a buck tooth. It's a little funny. But yes, those are my final thoughts. And again, sadly, there will not be a posing segment for this video. There's just that plastic, the scraping of the plastic, it just really worries me, because it makes me think that it's genuinely just going to start digging more into the plastic. And I don't want that, because regardless of what I think of a figure I buy it to collect it. So, you know, I don't want to mess it up more than I have to. So yeah. If you guys want to buy this figure, of course, you can. I'll add links in the description. The personal site that I use all the time, which is very good, very fairly priced, I meant to say. It's called Kappa Hobby. I'll add the link in the description. It's like $36.88 on that site. It is mostly in the US, so keep that in mind. But there's that, and I think Hobby Model Store still has it in stock. A couple other places too. I'll add the ones that are like the cheapest. I think Hobby Model Store is still relatively cheap, although he goes closer to like 40 something. But that's pretty much like international. But yeah, I'm a bit disappointed with this guy, honestly. Like, I thought it was gonna be a lot better, but you know, it kind of sucks. I honestly, this might ruffle some feathers in the comments depending on if you guys agree or not. But genuinely, I think the Game Speak Goku was way better. Or not way better, but better. Just better, period. But yeah. Let me know what you guys thought. Let me know if you guys have this figure, what you guys think of it. If you have any like absolutely horrible QC issues like me and the plastic scraping on the armor. Comment down below anything you would like to see. Again, there will be more content coming out. Sorry for the hiatus. It's just been kind of a hassle recently. But like, subscribe, watch the other videos on my channel that you'd like to. And again, guys, thank you for watching.